man. I'm not interested.
What's good? You single? Come on, boo. Oh shit! How many months you pregnant? 7 months. What you doing after you get? What you doing after your pregnancy?
I'm niggas so thirsty.
What you doing after your pregnancy? I'm enjoying my child after I'm pregnant. Let me get your number, boo.
Okay. Hey, I'm the mama, and I think it's gonna be a boy.
What's going on? It's your boy Sosa. I'm the daddy. I'm telling girl, you feel me? Telling girl, it's a girl. I already know it, man. You feel me? Brandon, I'm a cousin. It's gonna be a girl.
Hey, Friday. I'm a friend of Jazz from work, and I think it's gonna be a boy. My name is Destiny. I'm a friend of Jazz, and I think it's gonna be a girl.
She had 2 days left. 2 days before her daughter was due to come into the world. 2 days of balloons still hanging from the walls, of gift bags lined up in the corner of a room she had decorated herself. 2 days that she would never live to see. Her name was Jasmine Cooper. She was 27 years old, living in Greenville, North Carolina. And on the night of July 8th into the early hours of July 9th, 2023, the man who shared her home took everything from her, including the child she was carrying.
Police arrested a man today following a standoff and charged him with killing his girlfriend and her unborn child. Greenville police, a 29-year-old Kiyani Williams, was arrested just after 11 a.m. today at a home in the 1100 block of Eagle Chase Lane after a brief standoff with police. Williams is charged with the murder of his girlfriend, 27-year-old Jasmine Cooper, as well as her unborn child. Officers tell WI10 that it's believed that the child was Williams's. Officers went to an apartment on West Arlington Boulevard back on July 9th, just before 10 a.m. for a report of an unresponsive woman. Cooper, who police said was 38 weeks pregnant, was taken to ECU Health Medical Center, where she and her unborn baby girl died. Police said an autopsy revealed the woman died as a result of blunt force trauma to the head and strangulation. Williams is in the Pitt County Detention Center under no bond.
In many domestic violence cases, police are often aware of the problem due to prior instances of being called for sin. But in the case, police say there were no early warning signs before they were called to the apartment of Jasmine Cooper and Kiyani Williams.
This is her story, not told to frighten you, but told because she deserves to be known. And because understanding what happened here might matter to someone watching this right now. Jasmine Cooper had a name picked out for her little girl, Kiyani. She had shared it on social media, that particular kind of quiet excitement that belongs to a mother who is almost there, almost at the finish line. 38 weeks pregnant, full term. The kind of pregnant where the hospital bag is probably already packed, where the car seat is already installed, where you have started counting the days in a different way. She was making plans, real ones. The baby shower had just happened. People who loved her had gathered around her. There were cards and laughter and the ordinary, beautiful noise of a life moving forward. And somewhere in that same apartment on West Arlington Boulevard, behind whatever version of a smile a man puts on when he is holding something dark inside him, her boyfriend, Kiyani Williams, was keeping a secret. The call came in the early morning hours of July 9th, 2023.
We received a call for just check welfare in the early morning hours of the 9th. Officers responded to the victim's address and found her there to be unresponsive, immediately transported by our EMS personnel in hopes that we would be able to do emergency procedures to save the child's life. I do not know from the injuries and have no reason to believe that there were any injuries that caused the child to die individually and most likely succumb to the mother's injuries.
Someone had dialed for a welfare check at the Heritage at Arlington Apartments, located at 2744 West Arlington Boulevard. When Greenville police officers arrived, they found Jasmine Cooper unresponsive inside her home. What they discovered was not a mystery. It was the aftermath of something done with deliberate force. The autopsy that followed would confirm what officers likely already feared. Jasmine had died from blunt force trauma to the head and strangulation. She had been beaten, she had been strangled, and she had been left there. Emergency medical personnel transported her to ECU Health Medical Center with one desperate hope, that Kiyani might still be saved. Doctors performed an emergency cesarean section, Medical staff worked to revive the baby girl for close to an hour. It was not enough. Both Jasmine Cooper and her daughter Kiyani were pronounced dead. 2 lives, gone before morning. Court records and prosecutor statements would later fill in the hours before officers arrived. At approximately 3 in the morning, Kayshawn Williams made a phone call to one of Jasmine's friends. He told her he believed Jasmine was being unfaithful, and as he made that call, Jasmine could be heard screaming in the background. Williams asked the woman on the phone who Jasmine had been with. Then, before the line went dead, he told Jasmine to get up off the floor. What was happening in that room in those moments was later described in court by Pitt County Assistant District Attorney Valerie Pierce. Williams, she said, had slammed Jasmine's head into a wall. He had strangled her. He had beaten her. There was also a FaceTime video, the kind of evidence that has no room for interpretation. It showed Jasmine on the ground, badly beaten, her breathing already labored. After what he had done, Williams left the apartment. He drove to a motel where his sister was staying. He told her that he had, in his own words, messed up. Then, sometime between 8 and 9 in the morning, he went back. By that point, help had already been called. But for Jasmine and Kiyani, it was far too late. One of the things that makes this case stay with you is this. According to Greenville Police Chief Ted Sauls, officers had no prior history with this address, no previous calls, no record of disturbances, no paper trail that might have prompted someone to check in on Jasmine Cooper before that morning. As the chief put it, this case was different from most domestic violence situations they encounter. But Jasmine's own family told prosecutors a different story. Her mother and sister, who sat in the courtroom during a legal hearing, confirmed that there had been a history of violence in that household. It had happened before. It had just never been reported. That gap between what a family quietly carries and what the outside world can see is one of the most painful parts of this story. And it is not unique to Jasmine. Across the country, in homes that look completely ordinary from the outside, there are women absorbing harm in silence because leaving feels more dangerous than staying, or because they love someone they cannot fully let go of, or because they have a child on the way and they are hoping, truly hoping, that things will change. Things did not change for Jasmine. Kayshawn Williams did not turn himself in. For 6 days after Jasmine Cooper's death, he remained free. It took law enforcement time to build their case, and when they were ready, he was not cooperative. On July 15, 2023, officers tracked Williams to a home on Eagle Chase Lane in Pitt County. What followed was a 2-hour standoff before he was taken into custody. He was 29 years old at the time of his arrest. He was charged with 1 count of murder and 1 count of murder of an unborn child. He was held in the Pitt County Detention Center with no bond. In a subsequent interview, Williams admitted to assaulting Jasmine Cooper. He had called it messing up. The law called it first-degree murder, twice over. The legal process moved slowly, as it often does, but the facts were not in dispute. In February 2024, a hearing was held at the Pitt County Detention Center. Williams, now 30 years old, appeared before Pitt County Superior Court Judge Marvin Blount. Prosecutors laid out the evidence in detail: the assault, the phone call, the video, the admission. Judge Blount ruled that the state could proceed with a capital case, meaning Williams could face the death penalty. Jasmine's mother and sister were present in that courtroom. They sat through the account of how she died. They heard every detail. Think about what that takes. Then in February 2026, nearly 3 years after Jasmine and Kiyani were killed, Kayshawn Williams entered a guilty plea. He was 32 years old. Judge Marvin Blount III sentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He will never walk free again. Jasmine Cooper was 27 years old. She had a name picked out. She had a baby shower with people who loved her. She had 2 days left. Kiyani never got a first breath. These are not just facts in a court file. They are the shape of 2 lives that were real, and that ended in a room where no one could hear them. What I want you to take from this story, beyond the grief and the anger that it rightly brings up, is this. The absence of a police record is not the same as the absence of danger. The people closest to Jasmine knew something was wrong. Domestic violence rarely announces itself to the world. It hides. It quiets itself. It waits. If you are watching this and something in it feels familiar, if you recognize any part of this story in your own life or in the life of someone you love, please do not carry that alone. There are people who will listen. There are resources. And more than anything, there is time to act before a story becomes irreversible. Jasmine Cooper deserved a long life. She deserved to hold her daughter. She deserved all the ordinary mornings that were taken from her. Her name was Jasmine. Remember her. If this story moved you, please like this video and subscribe to Caught in the Web Crime Stories. These are real people, real families, and sharing their stories is how we honor them.